So I came here and I promised you to talk about YouTube ads, about how to crack YouTube ads. I really needed to catch a headline. I'm in marketing. But what I really want to do is to tell you a story. And the story is about how I went from just being a performance marketeer, but also to become a privacy-led marketeer. I need water. So I brought some slides up here. There won't be much text on them, it's mostly imagery. So you've got to listen well. I speak really fast. I hope the AI thing can follow up. Now, oops, not yet, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to take you back to November 2023. I'm in Lisbon, so our offices are in Lisbon. And I'm going there to meet my CMO for the first time. So she joined 2-3 weeks prior to this. And I'm sure she's probably super stressed because she's just joined. And we're in November, and what happens around this time of the year is that you have to finalize your budgets and targets for the next year, right? So she told me afterwards that I was one of the first people that she wanted to speak to because essentially I'm the PPC specialist, so it's where we spend all our money, and she needs to know where our money goes. So I was meeting up with her, right? And I'm quite scared. CMOs are a bit scary. I think many of us think they are. So I was sitting down with her in the office, and the first thing she's asking me is like, okay, what channels are we live on in this company? So I'm like, well, we have a couple of Google Ads accounts, we have a couple of LinkedIn accounts, we have a couple of Meta accounts, and I'm managing them. And then we have an external agency, 2 junior PPC people that are based remotely, and they help me with the Google Ads accounts. She said, okay, are they any good? Not really. They're not really that good. And then she's asking me 2 things, right? And these are the 2 things. What is your biggest needs in this company for us to be able to grow? Like, where can we grow, and what is your biggest needs? So I said, well, on Google Ads, on search, right? So search campaigns, we're quite saturated. There's always some optimizations we can do. But we haven't really done much top of the funnel activities. We haven't done really any YouTube ads, like more creative stuff. We haven't done much of that, which I think could be a big opportunity. She's like, well, what do you need? Like, why are we not doing this? I was like, well, we have literally no creatives in this company at the moment. Nobody makes creatives. And I don't have anybody to help me. Like, I'm alone. I cannot do it. And this is how exactly I feel. Like, to me, this is how scary she is at this moment. She's scary. She's sitting over there, and she was scary. Now, I'm like, okay. She's like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. So then, moving to December, I'm looking at the budget sheet that's been prepared, and I see, okay, there's been added headcounts. She's added 3 headcounts for 3 PPC specialists. So I'm getting really excited at this point, right? This is exactly what I want. It's been my dream. Like, I always wanted to have my own in-house team. So I'm starting writing job descriptions, getting them live. I'm already booking some interviews, and in general, it's a pretty good time because it's Christmas, right? I'm going to be off for Christmas. Then in January, I'm going to Thailand for 2 weeks. Like, it's going to be a blast, right? So I'm having a good time. Ice. And she does this whispering to me sometimes. And she messaged me on Slack, and she's like, okay, what does she want now? What is the termination agreement we have with the current agency? 30 days? Yeah, get rid of them today because we want to start fresh from January. So at this point, so I'm going away in January, and I'm not going to have anybody, okay? Now, January comes, I'm away, and I come back, and this is where I am. I'm absolutely drowning. I'm super stressed. At this point, we're in mid-February. And what happened last year, this is 2024, right? And what happened last year in February was beginning of March, but I don't know if you guys remember. Does anybody remember the Digital Markets Act? Do you remember it as Google consent mode? Yeah. So this was quite big. It was especially big for us because we sell data privacy solutions. This is comparable to us as what happened to Zoom during COVID. It's exponential, like it's crazy. The search demand is insane. And in our Google Ads account, we are getting a ton of demand. And yes, we expected some demand from this, but we didn't anticipate this amount. So I'm sitting in my chair in my office and making forecast models for the finance team because I do not have enough money to get us to the week. Like there's just not enough money. So I'm really, really stressing. And at this point, my first hire, he's a junior PPC. His name is Esteban, or Esteban, as it tells me to call him. It's the correct way. He's just joined. So he's been there a week as well. And he's sitting next to me and he's opening the Google Ads accounts, like the Google editor. And it's for his first time in his life. So he's never used it before. So I'm also sitting and having to train him, right? And I hear this again. And I spin around in my chair, like literally. And I didn't even realize at this point, she's sitting behind me. My CMO is sitting behind me, and she's sitting there like plotting away on her computer. I have no idea what she's doing. And I didn't even notice it. This is how busy I was. And she's asking me, if I get you the creatives, if I get you proper creatives, and I have them ready for you, can we launch YouTube ads on the 4th of March? This is DMA day, the 4th of March. And I'm just thinking, like, there's no way. Like, there's no way I can do this. This is crazy. Like, I cannot do this. I couldn't even, like, get my numbers in order to get money for tomorrow, right? But at the same time, like, I've tried a little bit of YouTube ads before, but never properly. And I've never had somebody say, I'll get you exactly what you need, super good video ads, and you'll have the budget, and we can do it properly. And in the end of the day, what was happening was DMA, right? So we also naturally had demand. So it was a really good time. And it was a really good opportunity. And it was an opportunity I was thinking, okay, I have to say yes. Like, if she believes in it, I have to say yes. So I say yes. It's like, sure, we can do it. It will be done. Now, moving forwards a couple of weeks, it's actually 15th of March. So DMA day passed. We didn't manage to get it live in time. However, and I'm actually here in London, as I live in Lisbon, right? And I was in London that day. It was a Friday, because sometimes I come over to play rugby. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I gotta go back. I missed this part. I forgot to tell you about how scared I was. And actually, it's probably how scared I am as I'm feeling right now, but okay. I'm that scared. But this is important, because you need to understand what this actually really feels like and how scared I am of this new CMO. So the biggest fear I had was really, she's promised me all these things, but I really don't trust her, because in the end of the day, she doesn't know me either, right? Like, she could probably think that, how does she know after a couple of months if I'm actually good at PPC, right? And I only know two things about her. I know that I've heard rumors that she has a mansion. She has a big mansion. And I also know that she is from Romania. So, to me, this is who she is. Like, this is exactly who she is. This is how scary she is. It took me a year before I was not scared of her. And this is the point where I'm actually starting. So I came to London. I said yes, right? I told you that already. So I'm in London, and I'm in a hotel in Earls Court, and I'm making these, it's called campaign structures, right? When you're setting up the campaign structure for the YouTube ads. And at the time, I'm thinking, okay, let's go live on as many audiences as possible. I'm doing lots of different segmentations, and we're ready. We're pretty much ready. At that day as well, we also hired my new manager. So he also joined that day. It's his first day. And I'm thinking, okay, like, I'm about to blow a ton of money on this. And, in the end of the day, he's kind of responsible as well. I should probably just drop him a message. In addition, he just joined us from Google, right? So I think he should probably know. So I asked him, it's his first day, right? So I sent him a message, but he doesn't respond. But I'm not going to wait for him, right? So I activate. So it goes live. Now, what I really want to tell you, I'm going to obviously teach you something as well. You'll get something useful. But what I really want to share is these 5 key lessons that I reflected upon after this entire year and everything that happened. And the first part is the audiences. So as I said, I started out with doing a lot of segmentation. And the segmentation, and I sat together with Esther, like me and him, we sat and we were really thinking like, okay, where does these, who are these people that would actually need our product? And this was consent mode. Our videos was about Google consent mode and DMA, and we were thinking, who are these users, right? Like, where can we find the audiences from the ones that Google Ads provide, like in-market ad services, the big ones? But also, what type of videos do these people watch on YouTube itself? So we really did quite a lot of thinking behind this. And afterwards, what started happening is that it was live for a couple of weeks and a lot of conversions started coming in. Conversions to us and our company at this time was sign up, like people sign up to our product is the first step, right? And we were starting to get quite a few on some audiences, but not the others. So the first thing you do, right, is switch off some and then you increase on the others. But this, we probably wouldn't have seen this or realized this, what was working, if we hadn't gone live so broadly. So the first lesson is you really need to take time to really consider your users, and you really try and brainstorm and put live as much as you can, like go big, and then after that, just bring it all down, like narrow it all down and stick to it. This is I think is the best and most important thing to do when you first kick off. Now, the other part, so I'm getting conversions, right? This is running for a few weeks, and we're getting a lot of conversions. And I've never seen it like to this level yet, but I'm still quite unsure because it is DMA. It could, like, is this really real? I don't really know if it's real. And then I was trying to think, like, how else can I like be sure, right? So I go to our backend dashboards. Our company, we use an analytical tool, right? And we have our, we send data there on the backend with UTM parameters on the URLs. And I went in there to look, and there is zero. There is nothing. Like, there is absolutely no attributed accounts to our YouTube campaigns. There's nothing. Now, I don't really expect a lot because this is last touch based, right? Like, we don't really attribute that way. So I didn't expect to see a lot there, but there was no proof in it. So the second thing I go to is the creatives. So I look at the creatives we've had, these, and by the way, these are not exactly the ones we had at the time, but the same style. But I went to look at the creatives, and I was trying to see, like, with the new videos that we put live, how are they actually performing in video metrics compared to what we had live before, because we did make like a small video with some AI tool initially that was quite low production to see the comparison. I just want to show you that on the video, like the difference between the two. So I'll show you first the kind of basic using an AI tool version, quite simple, and then later the actual creatives that she got me. If you could play them, please.
Avoid interruptions to your ad campaign's advertising by implementing Google Consent Mode. Are you using Google Ad technologies like GA4, Google Ads, GTag, and Google Tag Manager? You need to take action now. To ensure your ad campaigns in Europe continue without interruption after March 2024, you will need to update to Google.
So that's the first one. It's quite basic, right? Is me putting in some text and then it's created for you. Now the second one. So this is...
Hi. I was wondering if I could get a quick trim.
The point is that they are completely different, right? The first one is just you typing it in. The second one is an actual storyline, maybe a bit more engaging. We have various of these. And what I started to look at this point was how do these two compare? And the first thing is the click-through rate. So people actually clicking on our ads and going to our website. So the second one had way higher click-through rate. It was non-comparable. The view rate, so how many people are watching past like the 5-second mark, the 30-second mark, how many people are watching the full video. Again, there's no comparison, right? I also see that people have liked the videos, like people like the ads. And the last point I saw was that we even had people subscribe. Like we had people subscribe to our channel based on the ads. And this is something that you don't really see that often, right? So what I really feel about creatives, and what I'm realizing at this point, and Google always tells you that the creatives is 50% of the experience, I actually think it's more. Like, I think the impact of the creatives is so important when you do visual storytelling, and you can't really cut corners with it. And if it's 50%, one thing that I think is important to keep in mind is that when you are investing in this and you have a budget planned for launching something like YouTube ads, half of that should actually be towards the creatives themselves. This is how important they are. And I promised our creative guy, Ruben, is his agency, to give him a shout out. Okay, Camping TV. Yes. So I'm getting a bit more comfortable now. I think like this is working, right? Like this is gonna work. Like I feel quite confident. Ice. And I'm like, what does she want? Like, what does she want? And she's asking me, like, yeah, she's excited. And she's like, yeah, is it working? Like, do you think it's working? I'm like, yes, it's working 100%. This is working. But deep down, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm really not 100% sure. Because with Google Ads and with many of these platforms, the way they attribute conversions is like you can't trust everything they do. And I've only seen it on two ways, but I haven't got a proper proof yet, right? So I'm not feeling like 100% confident, but I still want to continue going. So I'm not going to tell her that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm doubting it. No, I'm going to do it because I want to do it more. I want to make sure that this is for sure. So we keep going. So the ads, they're running for now a few months. We're starting to see a bit ad fatigue, and you kind of need, at some point you need to get some new content, right? But we just started doing this, so we didn't have a ton of content lined up. The one thing we did have though was a free course that we created that was teaching people how to install Google Consent Mode for their platform. And this was not really us selling our product. It was more, this is how you can do it, and this is quite technical, and you can learn from this. So we had some videos for that, so we started putting that live. And I thought, okay, like, we're not going to get sales from this, but we'll at least get people interested, and this is real value. So this went live, and it was bringing in people to doing the course, and it was selling our product. It started to sell our product. And of all the videos that we had live, this is actually the only one that we're still running. So at this point, the realization is that in between when you have your ad campaigns, you should have filler content. And that filler content doesn't have to be you selling. It should be you bringing real value to the user. And YouTube is a really important platform to do this type of thing on, because it's a place that people go to learn. So when you have content live that is something that people generally get something from, it tends to perform well. Now, and I want to add this last part, and this again comes down to the actual performance and long-term performance, is that if you do YouTube ads, you really cannot treat this like your ugly cousin, okay? Like, you cannot just be, now the campaigns are live and they are running, and I'm focusing again on my search campaigns. You have to spend the same amount of time on it. So I said to Esteban, right, like, I'm not going to be the one sitting and doing this, but I really need you to take time to learn this and do all the research you can do online. I don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it, and a lot of people don't know it. If you spend the time on it, it will do better. And this is, I think, another point that you really have to consider. On lesson 4, and that's something that can really help you when you do YouTube ads. And this is to do with influencers. There's a lot of these YouTube creators out there. And they can do a lot for you if you work with them, and if you work with them correctly. So if you find the ones, especially in niches, that is genuinely interested in your product, that they like your product, and they create their own videos, it's not just you saying, oh, I'll pay you 1,000 euros and now you mention me in your video. It's more than this. Like, you actually create content with them. Like, you can co-create content. You can connect their YouTube channel to your Google Ads accounts, and you can literally use their organic videos as ads, and then you have fresh filler content in between. You can also connect and share your remarketing audiences. This is completely fine. And this is something that's very powerful, and it really elevates your brand when you're doing this at the same time as your own ads. So find them and collaborate with them, but I think it's very, very important to let them be themselves. They have to be themselves. If you try to put words in their mouth, they will hate you. I'll piss you off. Now, we're back in November, so it's been a year. Our second campaign is live. and I still do not have proof of this really working. I have my gut feeling, I feel that it's working, I think it's working, I'm lying through my teeth that it's for sure working, but I feel like it's coming to the point where, okay, I need to find some way to prove this. Nice. And she's coming to me again on Slack, and she's asking me, I really need you to prepare a deck that I can share with our leadership, because we invested a lot in YouTube now, and we need some real proof. So I'm really starting to sweat at this point, right? It's like, it's almost at the end of the year, and I haven't found like a way to actually like prove this. And then I remember that our growth team, I think it was back in February, March, had set up an onboarding survey on our product. So whenever the user comes to the product, they sign up. After that, we ask a couple of questions. It's 6 questions. It's what industry are you from? What role do you do? Like things like this. And one thing that we ask is, where did you hear about us? And the difference is here, right? So when we do our tracking, it's based on the click count. In this case, we're literally just asking them, where did you hear about us? So there has to be something here, right? So I start to download these data points, and I'm seeing that in March, there is 0% of people quoting YouTube ads. And then I'm looking at this, and there is this line that goes up, and at the end, it finishes at 7.5%. So from 0 to 7.5%, this is 7.5% of all the users that have signed up to our product during this time have quoted that they've seen us on YouTube. YouTube ads or influencers. We weren't doing organic at the time, so it can't be that. And this, I think, is enough. So I take this line, and I overlay it with the conversion count that we see in the Google Ads account, and they are matching, they're correlating. So this is where I think that sometimes we kind of miss the very basics we can do of just asking people, like, where did you see us? It's very powerful to use this type of data. Even if only 50% of people respond, you don't need all of it. You just need enough to see trends. And for the algorithms to work to bid, you just need a conversion goal that identifies a quality user with enough volume so that the campaign will work. Those are the 2 things you need. You don't need 100% data. And at the end of this, I start to think a bit, and I feel like performance marketeers, we're in this situation where we're so used to having all this data, right? We just think that, oh, now we are losing it because of consent mode, or people are not accepting our cookie banner, I'm not going to get data, my campaigns are going to crash. And we think this way, like I used to think this way. And I think we kind of forget that this data was never really ours to have in the first place. We should ask people, right? Like, this wasn't given that we should have it. And I feel like this comes down to what privacy-led marketing is. Privacy-led marketing, it's, to me, is going back to the basics of marketing, right? And I think when I put, like, you crack the code, like, this wasn't really about making YouTube ads work. For me, it's been more a self-realization around this concept of privacy-led marketing and performance marketeers. And so me, myself, I've always thought of myself as a performance marketer. And when people say, oh, you're in marketing, like you're in the marketing department, you're in marketing. I was like, I don't really do traditional marketing. I work with data. Like, that's what I actually do. I optimize and I analyze. I don't really do like this fluffy marketing stuff. And I didn't even have a marketing degree. I studied Chinese in uni. And I think a lot of people, especially in PPC, may come from this kind of background, and they think that it's not the same thing. And with what's happening now is I feel like I'm forced to actually be a marketeer. So privacy-led marketing to me is having to do things like thinking about creatives, really thinking about audiences, like not be lazy, doing things like that provides real value for your users, with courses or giving things to people without expecting something in return. Or, and lastly, when it comes to the data, just thinking that you just need enough to prove trends and enough to optimize. You don't need everything. And I think this has been quite a realization. I almost feel like this has been really fun. Like, I'm really enjoying doing marketing now. And it's, I'm kind of happy and proud to say I'm doing marketing. I'm not just doing performance marketing. So I really think like you should do YouTube ads. I think it's a really nice platform to exercise these tactics that is needed these days, like to really get that message out there. And I think you should do it. You need to make sure you have buy-in, like buy-in from your CMO, whoever is in charge. Because if people think that, oh yeah, you can have money for campaigns, but you can't have creatives, those you have to figure out yourself, that's not enough. You need to have buy-in. So do this. And thank your CMO for it. I will say thank you to my CMO for it. It was a really nice experience. And then lastly, I will share something with you. So we're doing this survey. It's about privacy-led marketing. It's about understanding from marketeers how they use these tactics, and if they think about it, how well they know it. And after this, if you want to do the survey, feel free. And in the end, we'll send an industry report. That's it. Thank you.